So if you see my screen, this is the definition of a program from Project Management Institute. Okay. So what is a program? So see, you are already familiar with projects, right? Because we are talking about project portfolio management, project financial management, right? So everywhere you will find the word project, project manager, project tasks, project budgets, project invoices, project revenue, right? All these are project. But now today what we are discussing is a different object or element which is known as a program. Okay, you must have heard about program. So it is not the program which we code, right? It's not a computer program. It's a kind of, what is a program? We let's understand that from the Project Management Institute definition. What it says is a program is a collection of related initiatives. Okay, so it is a collection of initiatives which are interrelated, okay, managed in a coordinated way. So some keywords: related initiatives, coordinated way, to obtain benefits which are not available from managing them individually. Okay, so these initiatives could be long standing product or service teams, projects, or subsidiary programs. The components of a program are related through their pursuit of complementary goals that each contribute to delivery of benefits. In some ways, program coordination is a more accurate term than program management, but program management is the commonly accepted term. Okay, so why I put it, because Project Management Institute is a very renowned authority in this area. So I have put this definition from PMI. But if you are not able to understand it fully, so no need to worry, because we are going to deep dive under for this in the next slides. Okay, but some of the important things to note here is that it is a collection of related initiatives. Those initiatives can be projects or subsidiary programs, and there is a common objective. Okay, so what are programs? So programs are groups of related projects. Okay, so basically when you take some projects and they are related to each other and you form some group, and then group may be called as a program. Okay, and they are managed in a coordinated way. Okay, and to obtain certain benefits. If you manage those projects individually, you may not be able to get the benefit which you can get from managing the program itself. Okay, so program focus is on the coordination of a number of related projects and other activities over time. To what is the objective is to deliver the benefits to the organization. Okay, they are more strategic in nature compared to projects. Okay, so very important, they are more aligned to the business strategy of the company. The individual projects which are like child to these programs may not be very strategic. They will be more operational in nature, okay, more tactical in nature. But here the programs which is like a parent to those projects is more strategically aligned to the organization goals. So that is a key point. Then program also focuses on execution and reporting of a group of projects. So one, we know that individual project you can report on, right? And one is that all the financials of those projects, they culminate or get aggregated or consolidated on a parent program, and then you report to via that program. So the individual project's performance is important, but the overall program performance is also very important. Okay. Now, these programs are created for organizational level big initiatives or very complex customer engagements, because they want to know the health of the overall program. There may be some projects under that program, some are on track, some are at risk, some are successful, but overall program level, what is the health is also important. Now, you know that projects are managed by individual project managers, but similar way, programs are managed by what are known as program managers, okay, which have a higher level of authority, because they manage programs which are parent of certain child projects. Okay, they can view project progress, analyze the financial performance and data, identify project risks, accelerate program execution to realize highest benefits in shortest time. So here, another important point to note is that although the deliverables may be at the individual project level, but the financial performance analysis may happen also at the program level. So in a way, at the project level also there is a performance analysis by the project manager, but at the overall program level is also there is a centralization of analysis at the program level also. Okay, so no, nothing to worry. I hope you got some of this, but we have some examples which will make it more clear. So few examples of programs, right? So in the maybe first example can be that wherein a program may represent a major deliverable, while each project represents a phase of that deliverable. Okay. So you have a program, you have multiple projects under that program. The program is representing a major deliverable, while each project may represent a phase of that deliverable. Okay. I'll give you one example for this from the real life. Let's say you have, the construction industry, right? Nowadays, a lot of big developers and builders are creating big residential projects, right? So imagine there is a builder in Bangalore, say Prestige Group or say a DLF Group, and they are coming up with a new housing residential project. Now imagine the project has four buildings, okay, four towers. Now each tower is one phase. So phase one tower, phase two, second tower, phase three, third tower, phase four, fourth tower, and then finally the entire project, right? So what they can, if they want to implement, what they can do is they will say that my project number one is completion of tower one, which will be a deliverable. So what is the deliverable? Tower one is the deliverable. Okay, then phase two or project two is the completion of tower two, which will be my second deliverable. And similarly, third tower and fourth tower. And finally, the overall, once all the four projects are completed and deliverables, there is a program which is basically above all this, which is like delivery of the entire residential project, right? So this way the program are structured. Okay. Similarly, there are another example is, say you have a department head who is concerned about the health of its departmental projects, right? There are multiple departmental projects running, but he wants to know the overall, not a single project, but the entire gamut of projects he wants to know the health of. Then he has to work in the form of a program. Okay. Another example can be a professional services organization, right? Where there is a customer engagement manager who wants to know what are the various projects ongoing for a particular customer, right? So say there is a particular customer. Okay. Now there are 5 projects going on for that customer. Now individual project level health is important, but also overall for that particular customer, overall consolidated view of all the 5 projects is also important. Maybe 2 projects are in loss, 3 projects are in profit. Overall health is still okay. So you can take some actions and then improve the overall health of the program. So these are some of the examples of programs. Moving further, see this example. This is from the consulting industry. So this will, you might be able to relate more. So for example, let's say you have a business transformation program. So whenever you might have heard this term, right, in your different companies wherever you are working on. So we say that there is a business transformation program. We never say that business transformation project is going on. Why? Why we say it is a program? Because under this complete business transformation, there are multiple child projects. For example, first project is maybe a IT infrastructure upgrade, which is a separate project. Then there may be another project number two where or they are migrating from Oracle EBS to cloud. And there may be another project number three wherein they are implementing a new CRM system. But ultimately, this whole entire all the 3 projects combined is a big program known as business transformation program, right? So what happens is you have individual project level budgets, cost, revenue, and you also do the project level reporting and analysis, which is managed by the individual project managers, but they all roll up to the program. So you roll up budget, cost, and revenue to program level and do the program level reporting and analysis also. And this is managed by the person known as program manager. Okay. Hope you I am clear what is the basic concept of a program and what is the distinction between a project and program. Okay. So now let's talk about background and context, right? So what was the need? Why Oracle came up with this feature? Okay. Because this feature of program management was not since inception of Oracle Cloud, okay, PPM Cloud. It was added later. So I'm just trying to give you the background. So many companies, as we saw the examples, right? So many companies work not only in the form of projects, but they also undertake big programs. For example, professional services companies, banking, construction, etc. Right? I gave example from professional services construction, right? Now, previously, when this feature was not there in Oracle PPM Cloud, so it was introduced in 22B release. Okay, so around, I think, 3 years back, this was introduced. Before that, was Oracle Cloud was introduced around 2011, right? So since then it was not there. So it was a pain point for those clients which also not only work in the form of projects, but they also work in the form of programs, but this feature was not there. So at that time, they had to adopt some alternative workarounds or approaches to meet the same requirement. Okay, but that required a lot of time, effort, and cost to implement. So what they used to do, and maybe some of you might have done that also, that what they used to do is they used to create program as any other projects, like simple project, and create DFFs, descriptive flex field, at the project levels. Or another approach was they, project classifications, class categories and codes. So they used to create a new classification for program and store values against a project. And for collecting the performance, they used to create, or roll up reporting purposes, they used to create complex custom OTBI or BIP reports, wherein they used to roll up the performance measures and then report at the program level. But it has a limitation that it was, first of all, a lot of development was required, right? And then performance issues also used to crop up, because see, if there are multiple levels, right, then there may be becomes very heavy and it affects the performance. So what happened is many clients approached Oracle and raised ideas for bringing programs as a standard feature. Okay, after many deliberations, then what happened is Oracle finally introduced this feature in 22B release. And since then, now we are sitting in 26A, I think, right? So we further enhancements were done in all the subsequent releases since then. So this session, right, and this presentation contains everything what has been done till now in program management by Oracle. Okay, nothing has been left out. So it will be very informative for you. Okay, so let's deep dive now. So one thing to note here is that this feature has been introduced by Oracle in the Redwood UI. It's not in the classic UI. So right from the beginning, when it was introduced in release 22B, it has been in Redwood only. It was never in classic. Okay. So whenever you see the pages, now when we go into the instance and do the demo, then you will see that everything is in Redwood. Okay. So this is a Redwood feature. Okay. Now what Oracle has done is, when you define your programs, it has helped you. The interface is such that it is a very guided process and you will easily understand it, how to create a program and all, how to analyze the program. All that is very, because it is in Redwood and it's a guided process. So it's quite easy to comprehend.